Hello and a very good afternoon. You're with Lunchtime News. I'm Dasni Athada for News First, and let's start off with a look at your headlines. President departs for Russia, renewing 60 years of diplomatic ties between the two countries. Today marks World Water Day. Kamrupitia Base Hospital halts activities as a result of water scarcity. Suspect believed to be involved in the shooting of a prison bus in Kaluthara arrested. Punitive measures should be taken against the perpetrators behind the murder of 400 police officers in Ampara, Tirukhovil. A statement by DIG Ajit Rohana. Finance Minister inspects the customs at dawn today. In your lead story, President Macri Sirisena left for Russia on an official visit this morning. The visit is upon an official invitation extended by Russian President Vladimir Putin. The President's media division said that this is the first time in 44 years that a Sri Lankan head of state has been extended an official invitation to visit Russia. During the President's visit, several bilateral agreements are to be signed in fields of economics, trade, tourism, science and technology, cultural and education. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Prime Minister Sri Lanka was the last Sri Lankan head of state to have visited Moscow back in 1974 upon an official invitation. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Prime Minister Sri Lanka was the last Sri Lankan head of state to have visited Moscow back in 1974 upon an official invitation. Now in local news, a chief suspect in the shooting that was carried out on two prison buses in Ethanamadala Kaluthara on the 27th of February has been arrested while in hiding in Sella Kataragama. Police said the suspect is involved in drug smuggling. The Colombo Crimes Division is extensively interrogating the suspect. The police added that the suspect was arrested by a team of intelligence officers of the Police Special Task Force upon the instructions from the Inspector General of Police. Police investigators have discovered all the details with regard to the Kaluthara shooting, and operations are underway to apprehend the other suspects involved. Meanwhile, an individual who shared intelligence to carry out the shooting and a woman who harboured one of the suspects are currently placed in remand custody. 7 people, including underworld figure Aruna Udayashantha alias Samayang, and 2 prison officials were killed in the shooting carried out on a prison bus in Kaluthara on the 27th of February. In more local news, the UN resolution on Sri Lanka is set to be taken up at the United Nations Human Rights Council today. The resolution will be discussed under the auspices of UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Prince Zaid Rad Zaid Al Hussein. Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Harsha De Silva, is also set to attend the session representing Sri Lanka. While the world marks World Water Day today, Newsfirst received reports that the Kamrupitia Base Hospital, which is suffering a severe water crisis. The water crisis at the Kamrupitia Base Hospital has left its patients under severe discomfort. The hospital sustains its daily water requirement from a well in its premises and from bowsers of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. However, since the past 3 weeks, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board has halted the distribution of water. Our correspondent said as a result, patients receiving in-house treatment, expectant mothers and patients who have undergone surgery have been put under a state of severe discomfort. Adding to its woes, the children's ward of the hospital is at the risk of a spread of bacteria. A source at the hospital said even though the National Water Supply and Drainage Board had been informed of this situation on several prior occasions, no solution has been provided. On an inquiry made by Newsfirst, an official at the board said the distribution of water has been halted due to a maintenance activity, adding that it will recommence distribution once it is completed. The staff of the hospital, including its director, have built a well within its premises as an alternative. Hospital sources said it will temporarily suspend admitting patients requiring emergency treatment, while expectant mothers and other patients will be transferred to the Mathura General Hospital. Today marks World Water Day.
World Water Day is held annually on the 22nd of March as a means of focusing attention on the importance of fresh water and advocating for the sustainable management of freshwater resources. An international day to celebrate fresh water was recommended at the 1992 United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. The United Nations General Assembly responded by designating 22nd of March 1993 as a first World Water Day. There are over 663 million people living worldwide without a safe water supply close to home at present. They spend countless hours queuing or trekking to distant sources and coping with the health impacts of using contaminated water. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, launched in 2015, include a target to ensure that everyone has access to safe water by 2030, making water a key issue in the fight to eradicate extreme poverty.
Now, in this backdrop, UNICEF released a report titled Thirsting for Water, or rather Thirsting for a Future, Water and Children in a Changing Climate. The report cites that by 2040, almost 600 million children, or 1 in 4 children worldwide, will live in areas with extremely limited water resources. UNICEF in Sri Lanka stressed on the need for greater precaution as the country experiences the consequences of drought.
This report is really quite topical and timely for Sri Lanka, as in the last 12 months, Sri Lanka has experienced a number of crises that are water-driven, if you like. The floods of May 2016, and now the worst drought in 40 years. Current drought, 365,000 children are affected, and we're really working very hard with our government partners to look at how we can improve water security for those most affected. And this is about rehabilitating wells, tube wells, and making sure that water sources close to these families and these children are as safe as they can possibly be.
Moving back to a local story, Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake engaged in an inspection tour of the Customs headquarters in Colombo last night.
Director General of Customs, Chulananda Pereira, was also present for the occasion. Importers on several occasions have complained that there are delays to get their containers out. So we thought that we'd pay a visit here on a normal day along with the Director General and senior officials and see what the reason for the delay is and how we can resolve this issue. But we see an improvement from what it was. However, there is still more room for improvement. But it is with regret that I say that I observe that the wharf clerks have not reported to work on time. So from here on, we will bring forth separate provisions to determine how we can clear the containers on time.
Now, before we wrap up, onto one of our headline-making stories. The Police Heroes Day was celebrated at the Royal College Navarangahala yesterday. A magazine titled Desha was also launched at the event.
The ceremony was held under the auspices of Minister of Regional Development, Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca. The event was attended by a group including Inspector General of Police Pujit Jayasundara, former police media spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohana and veteran journalist Edwin Aryadasa. On the 11th of June 1990, 400 of our unarmed brothers who wore this uniform were taken to the Rupaskulam forest in Tirukkovil and were brutally murdered. This brutality has been recorded in the world's history as the worst mass killing of unarmed soldiers since the Second World War. Those who ordered this killing back then are still among us in society and this country today. So we see the importance of implementing the law against these mass murderers today. Another key challenge the police has to face are the protests.
We have numerous plans which we hope to implement with the assistance of all senior ranking police officers. These plans will focus on training, recruitment, postings, higher education, infrastructure development, sports and many other aspects. Keep in mind that you have a responsibility as well to come forward and help accomplish these goals. Through this, you can become an officer who is proud and who develops with each passing day.
And that's a wrap of Lunchtime News. Join us again at 1:55 for more of the very latest.